Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
My plunger.
Worst
Outtakes.
ever.
You're back to the Doctor Who cast. All right. Yeah. So then they get to Rigel 7 or whatever it is. You got something before that?
Yeah, just real quick in general. I could bring this up whenever.
Yeah.
Doesn't Kang, I believe, is Harry Shearer. And I don't know which. Two separate points. Kang sounded off, sounded higher pitched than usual. Kodos, Dan Castellaneta, sounded more or less the same, but Kang sounded
I didn't notice
higher
that,
pitched to
actually.
me. I don't know. It felt higher pitched to me. And then my other question was, which one is the sister? Which one's a girl? That was like a joke in the very first Halloween. That one was a girl, and the joke was that the women have the same deep alien voice.
Yep.
Yet all the other women on this planet, now that we get to meet more of the species, had totally female voices. So
Right.
that was
And
just
female hair and things.
Yeah, that's my one. Even though I said I don't give a shit, that's my one genius at work nerd thing that I'm going to point out.
I also noticed, and I also don't remember which one is the female, but one of them had like a pink bow tie on.
Oh, really?
Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, in this episode.
Oh,
So-
not normally though.
Not normally. I mean, normally I think the joke was that they looked exactly the same, and it's like one of us is female. Can't you tell? And of course not. You're aliens.
Wasn't it weird that I mentioned our French teacher from 15 years ago?
It was. You know what else is weird is that we took 4 years of French, and all I could say is "Qui a coupé le fromage?"
Je suis banane. Je suis la banane. I don't remember. I didn't do well in French.
Tony le tigre dit c'est son chouette.
I just remember that he always pronounced my name wrong. He said Pisson. I was like, it's clearly not Pisson.
It's not Crandall. I've been saying it wrong for 16, 18 years. How long have I known you? 19 years.
Good guy. He's a good guy, though.
There's an extended Star Wars riff at the very end of the episode.
For Star Trek. Star Wars is the beginning, Star Trek's at the end.
You're right. Oh, they got both of them in there. That's good.
Well,
did you notice that they weirdly called Star Wars Cosmic Wars?
So, all right,
What was that about?
I was going to get into that when we came up to it, but we can talk about it now.
now.
So, Cosmic Wars is a thing that's been in The Simpsons for quite some time now.
Oh, really?
It's their analog to Star Wars.
But why do they need an analog to Star Wars?
And they even have like a George Lucas surrogate who's like this little tiny guy.
Luke Georges.
I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the right show where there's at one point they complain to George Lucas. Like, this sounds like the South Park. That's why I'm a little worried.
Right.
But no, I'm pretty sure they meet George Lucas at some point, and he's like this little high pitched like little person, and it's really awkward. But they do Cosmic Wars parodies every so often instead of doing Star Wars. You know, they have the Yoda character. They had Jam Jam Bonks or whatever.
That was kind of funny, actually.
That's continuity. They actually had that character.
Okay, that was lost on me.
So. I agree. Like, why? The earlier episodes straight up just do Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's not a copyright problem. You can make fun of Star Wars.
Right.
For whatever reason, they just decided to make a parody. It's the same thing with, they do Maple. They do My Pod.
Right,
Maple.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to do that. You
I only
can
know
just,
that from Tapped Out.
but you could just do, like, I haven't understood why they do that. And they've been doing it in the new seasons. The classic seasons, they would just straight up say Star Wars.
Yeah, like in the Baimon Sci-Fi Con 1, it was the cool robots of Battlestar Galactica versus the gay robots from Star Wars.
Yeah. And you actually have Mark Hamill
and it was actually,
as Luke Skywalker. Right. And even in the Bart the General, he says there are no good wars except for World War II and the Star Wars. So it's weird that they made up Cosmic Wars. I don't know what episode it is. It might be too early for us, but I hope maybe we come across it. They do a really lengthy Phantom Menace parody that I think is actually really funny.
Okay.
Where it's just 3 hours of the Galactic Senate talking about trade bills, and like they're so clearly bored, and then finally a giant AT-AT or AT-AT. I always call it AT-AT.
I always called it AT-AT.
But you call it AT-AT a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't call it that. But I call it the dog walker.
Do you call it an XWING?
No, I call it the AT-AT. And anyway, it smashes in through the Senate.
Yeah.
And it has like big laser guns. And Bart's like, finally, some action. And then the laser guns put on a pair of reading glasses, and the dog sits down and goes, "I'd like to propose an amendment," or something like
that's
that.
pretty funny.
It was a really funny parody. It's watered down when you call it Cosmic Wars and not Star Wars.
But look, we can all agree that the best part of Phantom Menace was the lengthy scenes of debate in the Intergalactic Senate.
Of course. But that whole ending was just pointless. Then they had the Wrath of Khan music, which I love, but then it's Grandpa making a not funny joke and.
Yeah. How would he find them?
Yeah.
How's Grandpa doing an intergalactic signal?
See, if it was a vegetarian plotline, that would have made sense.
It would have. Completely made sense. Ever seen a hamburger that could take a bite out of you, right? Grandpa?
So this is exclusive just to the fact that we watched it on Hulu, but it was weird that there was a Star Wars commercial for Star Wars toys, and then it went directly into a bad George Lucas joke. They called him George Mucus.
I didn't even notice that.
It went
Okay.
from Star Wars to Star Wars. It's just something to note, and if you didn't watch it on Hulu, you probably wouldn't have noticed it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Just weird.
That
And
is
the fact
weird.
that George Mucus is a terrible pun.
Did you notice, how familiar are you with the Hunger Games films?
I'm very familiar.
You wrote and directed them.
I did. I actually am.
You're George Hunger Games.
I'm George Hunger Games, director of the Hunger Games trilogy, based on my actual life.
Yeah, of course. We all know that you're from District 12. District 12? I don't know.
That's not what Staten Island is called.
Not anymore. We're not just a garbage dump.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
I don't know if this was intentional, but did you notice that there were like these two alien broadcasters, and they looked a lot like what's his face, Toby Jones and
Stanley Tucci.
and the Tooch.
The Tooch.
Yeah, they had like the same hair and the same outfits.
Oh, no.
I think it was a direct reference, but for no reason.
I completely didn't notice, but if that's the case, then fine, that's fine.
Yeah, it was fine, but why?
Because it's a sci-fi reference. Hunger Games is sort of sci-fi. It's sci-fi.
Dystopia, but there wasn't like a Hunger Games type thing going on. They weren't even filling the same role. They were more. All right, whatever. I'm over it. I'm overanalyzing it. I just wanted to point out I have seen the Hunger Games.
It's. I'm more of a fan of the book. Yeah, I don't love it. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's well done for what it's worth.
I thought the second one was really good, but I really hated the third one.
We've this tangent here. I thought the second book is the best book. The second movie, I was not. I still think the first movie is the best one so
Oh,
far.
I didn't like the first movie.
What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm a little insulted seeing that George Hunger Games, did direct.
I'm
all of
sorry, George. I didn't mean to offend you.
Just wait for Mockingjay Part 2. I think I went above and beyond.
Okay, well we'll look forward
I
to
added
that.
a few Dalek B-52 scenes.
Excellent. Then I'm
It's
there.
actually just a 2-hour Dave Letterman parody with all Daleks. And then at some point, there's a Mockingjay Part 2. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend who is sleeping next door...
Is she sleeping? Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
don't think she appreciates the Dalek voices.
Apologies to her then. Okay, so that is where it will go. Let's cut this part.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, I'll bring us back up.
You will?
Yeah. Okay, so we have placed it on our list. No, fuck it. You bring us back. Don't do that.
Okay, so we have taken it on our list. No, all right.
You son of a bitch.
Worst episode ever.